we've been joined by some of our principals, APs, and teachers. So I'm going to have them just go down first, introduce yourself. Let's get your school shout out, because I know we're going to have people in the audience who are working at these schools for this coming school year. And then we're going to dive into some questions.
Angela Burley, and I will be teaching at Pinkston High School.
I'm Alethea Lee. I'm assistant principal at T.W. Brown, World Languages and Cultures.
I'm Chase McLaurin. I'm the principal at Walnut Hill Elementary.
I'm Maria Scully. I'm the girl with the disco ball. And I teach at Foster Elementary. Go, Foster!
I'm Dora Griffin. I was at Cuellar Elementary, and I have now, yay, Cuellar. I won't be there. I moved to an ACE campus. I will be at Wansimo Hernandez Elementary. Any Wansimo? Yay!
Hello, my name is Sania Thomas, and I'll be at Madison High School.
Good afternoon. My name is Jonathan Smith, proud principal of the David W. Carter High School.
So I'm going to start with a question for one of our evaluators, and you guys can jump in as you like. What are your goals as you sit down for a feedback session?
So as we sit down for a feedback conference, it's important for us as appraisers to also make sure that just as you've planned for lessons, that we actually plan for that conference so that time could be effective and efficient. So what we're ultimately looking for is an opportunity for the teacher to be able to reflect, as well as leave that session with an actionable item or an idea that can be used to strengthen their performance in the classroom.
Hello. As a teacher, I actually look forward to the spots because I want to grow and I want to get better. And spots, I noticed, which I thought I was doing, may point out what I wasn't doing. And I thought I might have been doing this very well, and I wasn't doing it as well. And it's that opportunity where I can take, well, what did you notice? What did you see? Oh, well, did I do this? And if you didn't, like, I know y'all met Angie earlier this morning, they have a lot of PD available. And that's kind of where you go in and that you can make yourself better.
I would say going into the feedback conferences, being able to see what I have been doing well and what areas I can take and continue to build upon. Just like we want our students to always grow and learn, there's always opportunities. So also coming with any questions that you've had within your lessons to be able to go in and ask them how you can improve upon yourself.
Going into a feedback session, you need to go in, I'm going to say that I go in prepare. You need to go in prepare with your data, having reviewed the lesson that you were observed. In the video, besides the disco ball and the noise, you saw that I knew exactly the students that did not master. How many, you need to be ready with your percentage, know what happened. Like you said, I love when the principals or anybody comes into my classroom. It's an opportunity for me to grow, to shine, to show what I'm doing, to get feedback and to grow. So don't take it as they walked in to get you doing what you're not doing. Take it in as they're there to help you.
I would say my number one focus when I go into a classroom is I want to make sure the teachers feel supported. That's my number one focus. After that, we all want students to do better. We all want students to be successful. No one's in this profession because we don't want what's right for students. So collaborating so we can figure out what works best for those students and how we can meet their needs. And it's different in every classroom. It's different with every teacher. It's different with every principal. You're all going to different campuses. But for me, one of the biggest things that blows my mind with a new teacher, and if you really want to impress your new principal, doing what she just said. To me, somebody knowing that you're open to that feedback, you're excited to hear about it, you already know what's going on, instead of being dreading it or being nervous, we're here to support you. We want to help you. We want you to be successful. And that's why we have these systems in place. So a teacher like her, when they go and you're ready to go, you've got questions, you want to know, hey, how did I do? What could I have done better? What does this look like? Ask it, because when we know more of what you want, we can go and send you in that direction. I might have somebody in the building that's awesome at doing exactly what you're struggling with, and you don't have to wait to go to one of Angie's PDs. You can go see it later today. I can go chat with that teacher and say, hey, can Ms. So-and-so come see this really quick? And most of the time, they're gonna be like, yeah, sure. And same thing for you, making sure you reach out to those other teachers, building that rapport on the campus. But I think it's also, one of the final things is, it's a chance to get to know your principal and know that we're here to support you and help you be successful.
So feedback is a way for teachers to have a reflection with a new set of eyes. Oftentimes we reflect, but we don't take time to see what we can't see. And that's your opportunity to allow the evaluator who went in, who had a new set of eyes, to see some things that you may have missed, to push your instruction further even more. One of the main points that I think everybody has stressed in this panel is that make sure that you're moving forward and being receptive to what the feedback is. A lot of times feedback is uncomfortable, but uncomfortable is a way of moving you out of your comfort zone into a new zone of being that good to great teacher.
And finally, I won't repeat anything that's been said. I'll just tell you that as new teachers, become very familiar with how you're being evaluated. Defining excellence, the rubric, it's very important. You need to know it backwards and forwards because you need to know what exemplary is, what progressing is. You need to know what it looks like in the classroom. And your interpretation of it may bring a unique perspective to your administrator. And your administrator, just by you having the knowledge, will be able to better direct you. So more than anything, read the rubric, study the rubric.
Well, I'm not going to argue with that advice. That is wonderful. I know we've got a number of you who this is your first year teaching. Is that right? You can raise your hands. And we know that this will be a challenging year. What advice do you have for those first year teachers, and what advice do you see for those that are successful in that first year and that see the most growth in the first year? What are they doing differently?
I will say, beyond reading the rubric and studying, a new teacher needs to find a mentor, find somebody to latch on to, and look for somebody positive. There'll be a lot of negativity. I mean, it's just kind of human nature. There'll be tough times of the year, during testing or just in your normal growing process. So more than anything, find that positive person who is trying to better themselves, be it an old head, another new teacher, and use them and let them help you to perfect your craft.
Planning. Planning is the #1 advice I can give any new teacher. You have been given a plethora of information. I know this week, the rest of this week, when you get to your campuses, you're gonna have PD after PD and all of this good stuff. And you're gonna wonder, where do I start? It's gonna be overwhelming. You're gonna get, what do I do next? But if you take time to plan and take one day at a time, that's all you can do. One day at a time. What I did today, if it was successful, how can I build on it tomorrow? And if it wasn't successful, how will I change it for tomorrow? Just take one day at a time and plan.
I agree with them about the planning. Planning is crucial. And the other thing is, I think as a first-year teacher, it's just important to lean into the discomfort. You're going to make mistakes sometimes. It's not the end of the world. As long as you continue to grow and improve and work on being the best that you can be for the students, you'll be successful.
I'm going to repeat a little bit of what they said. Plan, be prepared. You do not want to be that new teacher that walked in and have no idea on Monday wait, what am I teaching today? No, be ready, have all your materials ready. Also, as a new teacher, have a plan B. Have a plan B and be comfortable with that plan B. Know what you're going to do if the technology is not going to work. If your principal walks into or whoever and you're not teaching because the technology didn't work today, believe me, that's not going to go well. So have a plan B. And finally, rest. Learn how to balance. As new teachers, we want to just do everything the first day and the first week and be always on the go, but you need to rest. It's going to be a hard year, but it's going to be so worth it. Good luck to you all.
I would say as a new teacher, be open. Learning new things just because that's the way that you've learned it or the way that you've done it somewhere else is not necessarily how it will go in your new school, but be open to it. It could be much better than you've ever had. And I've seen that a lot with people and helping them grow. And also being able to find someone that you can ask questions to, like she said, a great mentor that's positive, but looking around in other classrooms, finding new things, new ideas that you can implement in your classroom.
Not to sound redundant, but preparation, I have to 100% agree. Preparation is key. What does preparation look like? It looks like bouncing ideas off of a mentor. It looks like making sure you plan, and not just plan A, plan B. So everything everyone said. I also would give advice, y'all new, especially those who've never taught, new teachers, don't bite off more than you can chew. I know you might want to start the science club, the chess club, be a part of this, a part of that, which is great, but don't bite off too much. I mean, be involved, because being involved will help build that relationship with your students. So that's definitely be involved, other than just in the classroom, but don't bite off too much.
I'm going to make two statements. Neither of them are original to me, but the first is you're going to fail. You are going to fail your first year. But what I would say to you is fail fast, and when you fail, fail forward. You're going to make mistakes, things are going to happen, but don't dwell on it long. Pick yourself up, get right back into it, you'll be okay. The second thing is what I've already shared with the teachers at Carter High School, is that feedback is a gift. And when someone gives you a gift, what do you say? All right, so practice that art, remain moldable, remain coachable, and remember at all times, even if you don't like the feedback, feedback is a what? Let me hear you. Feedback is a what? And when someone gives you a gift, you say what?
Okay. Now, what we saw in that video, Dora, was very fortunate. It was a chance to have us sit down face to face. They went through the lesson. They also talked about what she was going to do next time, set a time for that next time for him to come and observe again. Now, for many of us with spot observation feedback, it may not be an in-person conference. The requirement is that you get the written feedback within a couple of days. But what advice do you have to a new teacher who may feel a little bit uncomfortable asking for that face-to-face conversation? What advice do you have in terms of how to frame that ask or how to get that feedback?
On every campus, you'll have what we call a TEI expert, and that TEI expert is there for you. I was the TEI expert for my campus these past couple of years, and that's what I was there for. They'll come to me, Thomas, this is what I got, this is what happened. Okay, so let's look at it. Here's what you can say. I'll tell them, but you can't come in there unprepared. Like she said, that's number one. You have to have data, must be measurable. You have to have evidence. They say you didn't turn in a lesson plan, print out your lesson plans. Like, you have to be prepared. You just can't go in there and be like, what? So I tell them that's the key. And I'll even walk them through it. I'll ask them. I'll act like I'm the principal. You know, you have help, even mentors, TEI experts, mentors. Find someone you're comfortable with. Find someone who you can talk with, and they'll help you. Because if you've been through it, they've been through it, or someone's been through it.
I would say your principals are there. They want you to succeed because if you succeed, your children are succeeding, your students are succeeding. If your students are succeeding, the school's succeeding. The school succeeds, the whole feeder pattern succeeds. The whole feeder pattern succeeds, the district succeeds, and we want to be #1 in the state, well, in the nation. So don't be afraid to go in there. Be confident, know what you're going in, like she said, what your questions are about, being prepared because everyone wants you to succeed.
Also, principals are there, like everyone knows, to help you. If you go into your feedback session and is not going, the observation was not as you wanted, or it was not good, and you feel like you're not having a good feedback session, be honest and talk. Don't be defensive. Don't get like, wait, you didn't like me, wah, wah, wah. It's not about, this has nothing to do with likes. They are going off of an observation. They're humans as you are. Be honest and said, I have seen it happen. Mr. or Mrs., it was not a good day, or I didn't feel comfortable, or I was very nervous, or there was a fire drill, or little Johnny happened to throw up right there and then. Whatever, there's always that second chance. There's always that, I can go back and see you again. Can we arrange another time? So be honest. Don't be defensive.
I would say, if you think about it, what I would say to you is, as a teacher, what do you want your students to do if they don't understand? You want them to ask a question. Your best students, your favorite students, are the ones that have a lot of what? Questions. They're the ones that come to you and say after class and say, oh, can you help me with this? Or I was wondering about what you were saying about that. I thought it was really interesting. How could I, do that? Or what could that look like in my classroom? Though, if that's what you as teachers want from your students, principals are just former teachers. That's what we want from our teachers because they're our students. We want you to be successful, and that's what a successful teacher looks like. So I don't think any principal is going to think anything but positive things about you, just like I don't think you'd think anything negative about your students if they had questions. You would hope that they have questions. If you have a really good, engaging lesson and they're learning and growing, they're going to have questions. So I wouldn't worry about it at all.
Know how you feel about feedback. A lot of people view feedback as negative, others view it as positive. So where do you fall? Just like with grief, there are stages that you go through. Sometimes there's shock. Oh no, this can't be right. They didn't see that. Then there's anger. Oh, that's wrong, totally wrong. And then you have some rejection. Oh, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do what that person says. It's not gonna work with my kids, with my classroom. And then you start having some acceptance. Well, maybe if I try this and do it a little differently, let me see what the results will be. And then you'll get some hope saying, hey, if I take this feedback and apply it in those bite-sized pieces, I can accomplish great things in my classroom. So evaluate what you feel about feedback and identify where you are with Sarah and let her become your friend.
I agree.
I want to thank all of you for being really open and honest and giving some thoughts, some consideration for our new teachers. I'm going to give you just an opportunity. There's no specific question, but any final parting words of wisdom for this auditorium full of our next teachers? Anything you wish you had known, anything you'd like to share with them?
One thing I would like to say, I am the TEI expert at my campus, and I've been a TEI expert since there was TEI experts. And I will say that I'm a very big advocate for TEI. I've been in the district since 2000, so this is my 17th, 18th year. So I've been in it a long time, and I've been through the evaluation systems, and I welcome feedback. I like working with new teachers. I like the new teacher energy. I tend to spend more time with new teachers than what I call the old heads, because we kind of get set in our ways sometimes. And so some people, you will hear negative things being said about TEI. But TEI is an outstanding way for you to advocate for yourself. One thing about my experience, like with PDOS and other evaluation systems, it was so subjective. You know, I always got along with my administrators, but I saw other people maybe not get along. And we have to be honest. We're people, we're human beings, we're adults. We have personalities. You may not like your principal, and your principal may not like you. But you know what? We're professionals. And the great thing with defining what excellent looks like is that you don't have to worry about how you feel about that person, how you feel about this person. You take the definition and you apply it to your practice, and you make yourself the best you can be. And I love with Principal Carter, I know that's his last name, but I'm really bad with names, said at the end, say thank you. No matter what, just say thank you. And take it as a gift. Take what that person has told you and apply it to what you do, the best that you can do, and you show it, because one of these days, you're gonna be in a position to help somebody else become better and stronger. So advocate for yourself, inform yourself.
Have fun, enjoy this school year, make sure learning is fun for the students, and don't just focus on, oh, what is my evaluation gonna look like? What are you doing to have fun, to make sure learning is engaging and enjoyable for students?
Try new things. You know, I think that's going to be the key, is building a repertoire of instructional strategies this first year. So don't just try and do what your teachers did for you when you were in school. Try and reach out to everyone and see all the things that are going on great in your school and other schools, and implement that in your classroom. And don't be afraid to try it. If you fail, then try it again or try something else. But just keep that open mind.
I want to say thank you. Thank you for being here. You're in one of the best school districts ever. So thank you.
Have fun, get some sleep, implement your feedback, and just enjoy it. This is your first year. It's a lot of new learning experiences. Soak it all in, and just enjoy it.
Relax. I know we're talking about TEI, but don't dwell on it. Just like the panel basically said, have fun, prepare, do your lesson, enjoy the kids. That's actually the best part. Enjoy the kids, make your classroom, and everything else will fall in place. TEI will fall in place. Know your rubric, but everything else will fall in place.
I would say never underestimate your value, your worth, and your impact. And I'll just tell this quick story. I love telling stories. It was 3 years ago that Alethea Lee, she's over there to my right, second to the last, she and I had the opportunity to go and work together at Thomas West Brown Middle School in the southwest portion of our city. And that school had recently been reconstituted by the state of Texas because of the repeated low performance and low academic achievement. The school ranked at the bottom 5% of the state of Texas. Alethea Lee and myself were charged with putting together and getting a brand new staff. And guess what? We selected more than half of our brand new staff were in their first year of teaching. In 3 years, these teachers who were in their first year of teaching have moved T.W. Brown Middle School from the bottom 5% of the state to the top 5 middle school in Dallas Independent School District based on academic achievement. So again, never underestimate your value, your worth, and your impact. You can get the job done. We're proud to have you a part of the Dallas Independent School District.